Morning, everybody. Today, my name is Ross Parmenter, and today I'll be presenting on emotional intelligence, what it is, why it matters to the workplace, and how we can all improve. This presentation will include some personal reflections on my own emotional strengths and weaknesses, and how they influence my professional role. At the end, I'll also discuss some strategies for improvement and ask for your feedback, which would be great. So the first thing we'll be going over, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence, or EI, refers to our ability to recognise and understand and manage our own emotions, as well as understand and influence the emotions of others. It's made up of 5 key elements: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation and empathy, and social skills. These qualities affect how we handle stress, resolve conflict and build relationships in the workplace. So again, the main 5 would be emotional awareness, self-regulation, empathy, motivation and social skills. That's the main points we want to tell you about. The 5 core elements, let's briefly break down the 5 elements. Self-awareness, recognising our own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behaviour. Self-regulation, you're managing emotions in healthy ways, staying in control. Motivation, being driven to achieve for reasons beyond money or status. Empathy is understand other people's emotions and perspectives. Social skills, managing relationships to move people in a desired direction. And this is all very important. So, but why it matters at work? At work, so high emotional intelligence is linked to better teamwork and leadership and customer service. It improves communication, it reduces stress and conflict, and increases job satisfaction and performance. For leaders, having EI means we can lead by example, manage team dynamics and respond appropriately when we're under pressure. One of the best ways to start is going over my emotional strengths, and as individuals it's quite hard to, obviously, well, it's easier I suppose to work out what your strengths are, but harder for your weaknesses. But we're going to start with my emotional strengths first. And the 3 main ones for myself are strong self-awareness, clear communication and ability to motivate others. That's my main 3. Reflecting on my own experience, I would say my strengths lie empathy, motivation and emotional self-control. I make a conscious effort to remain calm in tense situations, which helps when resolving team disputes or handling complaints. I also find I'm highly driven. I stay focused on long-term goals and work well independently without needing constant reassurance. My next thing we're going to go to is my personal weaknesses. This is sometimes the hardest thing to really understand what you're weak on. The main 3 that stand out for me personally, I would say I can be overly critical at times, for sure. Sometimes too direct, and not always asking for help when it's needed. And these are the 3 things I have to work on. So however, I do have weaknesses. I sometimes struggle with over-analysing difficult conversations, particularly when like giving or receiving feedback. I can also become overly focused on tasks which occasionally make me less aware of how team members are feeling. Recognising these areas has helped me begin addressing them through active reflection and asking for more feedback. That's certainly what I've learned about myself in the working environment, and that takes experience to work at what your weaknesses are. So that will come with experience as well. The next slide. So strategies to, we'll go over first is the stresses and triggers. And that's another good way if you can work out what your stresses and triggers are, that enables you to work out what your weaknesses as well. But some of my emotional triggers include like last minute changes to plans within the group, or poor communication, or when people resist constructive feedback. I've learned to take a pause before reacting and to focus on solutions rather than the problems. This helps avoid escalating tension and keeps me grounded. So yeah, that I've had to work on stress and triggers that have improved myself for sure. So we'll move on here. We're going to go to the strategies to improve my emotional intelligence. To improve my emotional intelligence, I'm using a few strategies, and I hope this will benefit yourselves listening. Journaling to track emotional patterns, practicing mindfulness and deep breathing for regulation, seeking regular feedback from peers, attending coaching and leadership workshops to improve active listening and conflict resolution. That's what's helped us. So seeking feedback is an important one to improve your emotional intelligence. Is ask for feedback constantly from colleagues, reflect on what I hear with an open mind, and I use it to adapt my communication and emotional responses. That's helped a lot in my personal improvement for sure. The team benefits of this. So when we all develop emotional intelligence as a team, we get better collaboration. There's fewer conflicts, there's more trust and stronger leadership. We start to understand each other's perspectives, communicate better and work towards shared goals with more empathy and resilience. So let's discuss. So now I'd like to hear from you I'd like to hear from you and your thoughts. And have you noticed situations where emotional intelligence or has helped, or where a lack of it made things worse? What do you personally do to stay calm or support others emotionally? To feel free to share these ideas, please. I'd also be asking for your feedback on my presentation today. What went well? What could I have improved? And how I can apply your input to grow further and improve personally. At the conclusion of the presentation is thank you all for taking the time to reflect on emotional intelligence with me. I hope this session gave you some ideas to think about and actions that you can apply personally that can help you personally grow in your business journey. Please feel free to contact me after this. And if you'd like to talk more about anything we've covered, I'll be happy to go over anything you need talking to. Again, thank you very much. And the presentation is finished.